Hey there, this is Clay with modernlove.life, and this is Relationship Inner Game. Now, this is part of a video series on getting over a breakup. And part of getting over a breakup is, of course, healing a broken heart. Now, one thing that can really make getting over a breakup very difficult is the amount of heartache that you go through. And it absolutely is a very real experience, and you can't just kind of paper it over by giving somebody fortune cookie advice like, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea, or if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, or I never liked him or her anyway. Like, that's not very helpful because you are actually going through a very difficult emotional experience, which many people have said ranks as one of the highest painful emotional experiences that somebody can go through in their life, right up there with like a parent dying or something like that, right? How exactly do you go about healing a broken heart? And there's actually a couple of things involved in this. And the first thing that you want to do is to actually mourn the loss of the relationship. Now, the relationship that you lost was probably very important to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through this whole heartbreak thing. You wouldn't have a broken heart to heal, right? So it's important to really recognize that that relationship was important to you and to really mourn its loss, really accept that it actually is over, that it actually is an event that happened. I remember what it was like back when I was going through a couple of breakups in the past. I would wake up in the morning and for like a few brief moments, I would not even remember that I went through that breakup. And I would just feel like totally normal. But then after I could remember everything that happened, it would all just come crashing down on me again. And what I want you to do is to really soak it all up, to let it in, to really accept that it is something that has happened, and to really let yourself feel the pain and the hurt that comes with that. The more you resist that heartache, the more it's going to stay with you, and the more it's going to cling to you, and the more it's going to eventually morph and turn into bitterness and resentment. And that is not something that I want for you at all. So allow yourself to feel that heartbreak. Allow yourself to mourn that loss. Eventually, once you're able to fully experience it, you'll be able to let go of that emotion and have so much more spaciousness that will allow you to let in more good things into your life. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want you to do is to actually honor the relationship that you lost, okay? I want you to actually honor the relationship that you lost. What was great about it? What did you learn from it? What did you actually love about your partner, about the connection that you had and all of that stuff? Because oftentimes when we go through breakups, many people can just sort of flip on a dime and suddenly they hate their ex's guts. They look back on that relationship and they're like, I can't believe you lied to me. I can't believe you cheated on me. I can't believe all of these things that happened, right? It is true that maybe those things did happen, but there were also some good qualities about the relationship too. Otherwise, the two of you would have never gotten together in the first place, right? So it's important to really acknowledge those as well, because there was value from that relationship. There was value from that partner. And if you're just trying to turn your back against that, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because everything in life is a possible learning experience. Everything in life is a possible blessing. And if you just turn away from it, what you're doing is you're just kind of ignoring however much time the two of you spent together. You're basically trying to wipe it all out. And if you were together for a substantial amount of time, maybe a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, something like that, maybe even more, then that's a really sad thing to do. So take some time to really honor your partner, honor the relationship that you had, and try to learn something valuable from it. Even if it's just like, well, I now know that I don't want to be in a relationship with that type of person. Or I now know that I want a relationship that is, some sort of different circumstance. Maybe it's not a long distance relationship or something like that, right? And as long as you can learn something from it, it is not a wasted experience, and you'll absolutely be able to move forward knowing that you can take all of the wonderful lessons from that relationship into whatever the future may hold for you. The third important thing for healing a broken heart is to really work through the difficult emotions that you're going through, right? Now, one thing that I learned when I was actually studying Buddhism and mindfulness at a Buddhist temple is as these emotions, as these experiences are coming up, we often have the tendency to cling to them, to attach to them. And when this happens, we're really just agitating our own emotional experience. And this can be absolutely true in the world of breakups. I mean, you probably don't need me to tell you that. But what you can do is a simple practice of just as these emotional experiences are coming up, you can note that they are actually happening, right? So acknowledge that it's actually something that's happening rather than trying to stuff it down or something like that. Know that just like every other experience in time, that it will fade and it will pass away and it will be replaced by some new experience, right? Nothing lasts forever. I know in the moment of heartbreak, in the moment, in the throes of despair, it can seem like you will feel that way forever. But I think you know, at least intellectually, that that is not true. It is not true that some emotional state will last forever. No emotional state that I've ever had has lasted forever, and I don't think any emotional state that you've ever had has lasted forever either. And then the third part of that is to let it go. Let go of the emotional attachment that you have to that feeling and simply just watch it drift by like you might watch clouds drift by in the sky if you're, I don't know, laying on a hillside or something like that, looking up at the clouds. You know, you're not emotionally attached to one cloud or another. You might think, oh, that one looks like a dinosaur or something, but you're not emotionally attached to it. It's simply just something that's drifting through the sky. And if you can treat your emotional experience that way too, you can be a lot less attached from it, and you can actually move through the process of healing a whole lot faster. The fourth thing that you can do to heal from a broken heart is to turn off your BS machine. And in our little world here, we often refer to that inner critic, that voice in the back of your head that tells you all the worst things about yourself. And you know, whenever you're confronted with some sort of blank in life, like, oh, why did they break up with me or something like that, it rushes in to fill in that blank with the worst possible outcome out there. Well, they broke up with you because you're unlovable. They broke up with you because you know, everyone was right, that you're ugly, that you're stupid, that you're a loser, and all of that stuff, right? And so what is going to help you to move on from the breakup is to turn off that BS machine. Turn off that machine in your mind that just constantly churns out BS thoughts one after another after another. Just turn it off. And I know it's much more easily said than done, but you absolutely can do it. And once you stop having these thoughts, they will stop agitating you emotionally, and then you won't have to go through that whole process of knowing it, noting it, and letting it go, like I said before. Instead, you can just not have those thoughts to begin with. And there is a certain process of actually, you know, challenging those thoughts in your own mind. I'm not talking about affirmations. Affirmations don't work for a lot of people for a very specific reason, which is that oftentimes our affirmations are in complete polar opposite to how we feel. So for example, if you feel like crud, telling yourself, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, isn't going to necessarily work for a lot of people, at least not for me in my experience, because I'm not happy. It's not my experience, and so my mind is just going to immediately reject it. So there's a certain process that you can go through by actually challenging the thoughts in a way that doesn't go the complete polar opposite of them, if you know what I mean. So that is the fourth step. And the fifth step to actually healing your broken heart is to really love yourself. Oftentimes, broken hearts hurt so much because we suddenly find ourselves without love. We get this sense of love from our relationship or from our partner, and when that just goes away suddenly, it can often seem like there's no love there whatsoever. But you always have the ability to provide your own love. You always have the ability to love yourself. And as long as you do love yourself, you'll be able to fill yourself up from within. And then you'll be able to go out into the dating world in a much more confident, smoother, composed way that will allow you to actually have the kind of successful, loving relationship that I'm sure that you want. Maybe you're not ready for it right now, but with some work, with some self-love, and with many of the other things that we've talked about in this video, I believe that you can love again, and you can get everything that you want from love and a relationship. With that said, this has been Clay with modernlove.life. I hope this has helped you out. If you want to learn more about how to heal a broken heart, please head down below this video. And if you're watching this on our website, modernlove.life, there's going to be a link. If you click on that link, I'll take you over to a page that'll tell you more about how you can heal your broken heart, okay? If you're watching this over on YouTube, go down below as well. In the description box for this video, there's going to be a link that'll take you to one of our websites called Relationship Inner Game. Over there, I'll just ask you a couple of quick, painless questions about your breakup and what you're going through. It should only take about 30 seconds. And then once I know a bit more about your history, I'll send you some tips, advice, and strategies that will help you get started healing from your breakup. And with that being said, please go ahead and give this video a like, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave a comment down below letting me know what sorts of videos you'd like to see in the future. Anyway, once again, this has been Clay with modernlove.life, and I hope that this has helped you improve your relationship inner game.